All right, so we're checking out a look here at the Adidas Anthony Edwards 3, which the AE3 doesn't even sound right. Like, is that too soon? Because didn't the AE2 literally just make its debut? What was that, like last month or something like that? We're already talking about the AE3, which I got to give a big thank you to Soul Retriever. Shout out to Nick over there who put together this publication, which if you guys are interested in checking out the full article, let me know. I'll go ahead and link it down below. But as far as the design language here, it looks like Adidas is kind of taking things back to the AE1, specifically the low top version, which the shape almost looks identical, but rather than that kind of honeycomb design element, which I believe they referred to it, featured on the upper, we now got these V's, or they could even be A's, maybe for Anthony Edwards. I can't really tell you, but this is kind of fresh, hot off the press, so we got to jump right into the comments, see what the people are talking about. This dude put, damn, the two's doing that bad? They ran with the ones for over a year. The twos are barely even out. We're already getting sneak peeks of the three, which that's fair criticism, but I don't think this is officially coming from Adidas, but rather than a leak. When we talk about this first look, this dude, Big Rob, talking about, did the twos already come out? The twos ain't even dropped. Y'all sleep, man. The twos been out. God's favorite said these suck. This dude refers to these as the AE2 lows. Somebody put keep them. Looking just like these, despite what they're saying. If so many like the one lows, then these will do fine. It's basically the one low but evolved, and I mess with them. Okay, all right. This dude put this feels rush, and then we got Uncle Rand over here talking about nah, man, these Terry as hell. Terry is short for terrible. Y'all gotta chill, man. Twitter be for the straight joke. So as far as the reception, seems kind of negative so far based off the initial impressions, but then again, let's not forget the initial impressions for the AE2 lows were pretty negative, and then once they officially released, kind of feel like it debuted to almost like a mixed reception. But of course, with the new energy behind that Cat Williams ad, the marketing, I think that was a really good look, as well as with the NBA season finally kicking off. I think the AE2 has a lot more potential. We got some more upcoming colorways to look forward to. These black joints are looking nice. If I could be a little overly critical, I wasn't a big fan of the debut with Love Color, which I know, they were kind of keeping things, paying homage to that original first AE1 release. But I just feel like that colorway didn't translate as well to this new model. But again, I rock with these black joints. I think the blue pair was dope. Maybe that should have been the debut, but what do you guys think about the AE2 so far? I mean, when you compare things to, like, say, the AE1, which it felt like the life cycle of that sneaker maybe went on for like a little longer. I think they were running with those for, what was that, like 2 seasons. Here we have the AE2, and could it be the case where maybe Adidas is quickly moving on to the AE3? Maybe they're seeing the reception behind the two hasn't been so great. Some people don't even know they've already released, and maybe the life cycle of that sneaker will be short-lived. We'll have to wait on it, but let me know what was your favorite model. I feel like Adidas is gonna have a very difficult time of recapturing the energy of the one. I think that released at a time where, like, remember Adidas was coming off the Yeezy partnership. Everybody was waiting for Fear of God Athletics to make its debut. And then here you have it, this kind of budget-friendly sneaker, the AE1 making its debut and kind of disrupting a lot of things, man. So I think that was really a great release, which we'll see if Adidas can ever kind of recapture that magic. But here we have it. We already got a leak of the AE3, and the AE2's literally just dropped. That's kind of crazy. But as far as the look, I believe it's a render, so we'll kind of wait to reserve final judgment. Maybe the on-feet looks, the marketing and everything will kind of change everybody's mind. But looking kind of similar to the AE1 low, I would definitely say so. And let's not forget, we also do have the Adidas Anthony Edwards Believe That One, which is supposed to be a more budget-friendly version from Anthony Edwards, which is also supposed to make its debut coming up in 2026 with a suggested retail price of around $100. So Adidas continues to expand the Anthony Edwards line, which when you talk about sneakers, basketball shoes, right? This year, it's kind of like the race towards like the #1 debut signature model, which of course you got the AE2, which we just talked about. We also got to bring up the Shea 1, which they've been kind of playing the limited exclusivity game as far as these releases. They've been kind of tough to get your hands on. And then we got the Ja 3, which I love what they're doing with this shoe. They threw them up on Nike ID. You got some limited drops, some more general available releases as well, but they're mixing things up. They're also adding some lifestyle sneakers like the Air Force One, as they're also expanding the Ja 3 line. And it's also no secret that all of these new debut NBA signature models are all coming in at a competitive price point right at $130. So out of all of these 3 sneakers, let me know which one is your favorite, man. We got the AE2, you got the Shea 1, as well as the Ja 3, which I know a lot of people have been giving this sneaker a lot of praise. But as far as my favorite, even though they've been difficult to get your hands on, I'm still gonna go with the Shea 1, just as far as like the way I feel like they look. I just feel like they look the best as far as my personal pick, if I can only go with one. But all of these sneakers, they're still trying to compete with the most popular performance basketball model on the market, which continues to be the Kobe Pro Tro 6, which they drop limited releases, they drop some general releases. The Kobe line just continuing to get bigger and bigger. So it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, can anyone ever live up to the legacy of Kobe Bryant? So that's Hoopin' Sneakers. We're going to take things back to Adidas, where there was this report from Reuters stating that as far as Adidas Q3 results, what they reported for this third quarter, Adidas reports a 5% drop in North America sales, citing the end of its Yeezy line and challenges from U.S. tariffs. So, of course, we've heard that story time and time again, but it seems like as far as the loss, from the whole Adidas line, with Yeezy last year, as they reported a loss for the year, their CEO, Mr. Gildan, he's saying that, a lot of the Yeezy growth, post-Yeezy growth actually has been fulfilled by multicolored, retro terrace sneakers. So that's going to be referring to stuff like the Samba, the Gazelle, and the Superstar. And to address some of the critics saying that the Samba, has kind of came to an end, that's all dead, he's saying that the Samba is still growing. He said he knows people are saying it's over, but it isn't. So that's kind of interesting to see because remember, North America sales being down for Adidas 5% this quarter. That's their second biggest market outside of Europe. But it is kind of also like a misleading title because overall, as far as Adidas growth, they're actually doing good overall. It's just we're referring to the North America segment. So maybe the AE3 can make a big jump in the scale. More so less than likely due to the fact that there's just not that much profitability as far as growth for the market share when you talk about basketball sneakers, especially in the US for a company like Adidas. But based off the publication right here from Reuters, it is saying that they have grown 30% for the quarter in the running segment, which seems to be kind of a popular area for a lot of these brands to target. Same deal with Nike. Same deal with Adidas. I know we're most concerned with like the hype shoes, the basketball sneakers, but then again, those sneakers only kind of make up just such a small segment of what these big brands do. So it looks like they're going to continue to invest in their innovation in the running category, which seems to show the most growth. So that's kind of what's happening at Adidas over there. North America sales are kind of still dropping. They're worrying about putting stuff on sale and everything like that, but they're still doing strong over in Europe. So let me know what you guys think about Adidas so far this year. If I had to give them a grade, while they've been doing some great things with like the jellyfish and all of that, the Samba still continues to be a hit. I really love what they've done with the Superstar, as far as the collaborations, bringing some more energy to that classic model. So I'd probably give Adidas like a strong B-. How they've navigated through the whole Yeezy breakup and everything like that, which I thought would be tough for them to recover, but seems like they're still going strong. So drop your feedback down below. Also, would be curious to know what you guys think about the AE3, which kind of crazy to think that these joints have already leaked. So JATV, drop your feedback down below. If you guys enjoyed this update, smash the like button. I'll be back later on this evening with the latest sneaker news updates. So in the meantime, stay safe, stay blessed. I'm out, y'all. Love.